Welcome to our first episode. The journey of transition at Galck Plus has officially come to an end. Lona's leaving and Eve is stepping up to lead a new chapter.
It's been a year of change, growth, and grounding at galck Plus. We hope this episode gives you a glimpse of how the year was, the growth, the change, and more to come.
This is Kweli Galck Plus.
Welcome to our first episode.
Indeed, thank you. This is going to be so exciting. I'm today years old doing a podcast.
First time for everything.
First time for everything.
How did we first meet, Lona? Because I remember how we first met.
So you tell us the story then. Tell us.
So I replaced somebody for a meeting that I wasn't supposed to be attending in the first place.
Oh, yeah.
And I enter Masai Lodge. Back in the day, all the meetings were happening in Masai Lodge. And the first session you were facilitating, I think at the time you still worked at LVCT and had been contracted or whatever to facilitate this session. I can't even remember what it was on. And for the first time, as a young queer person entering the movement, I saw a different way of doing things, right? Because up until then, no shade, but like the way they were doing things was just very particular, right? So it was good to see something different. And you are so passionate and you are so involved. And the way when you get like that fire going and you were so committed to this thing. It was an HIV thing, obviously. But then I was just like, whatever that is, I want some of it, right? Like I'm convinced. I don't know what she's selling, but I'm buying it, right? I started paying attention, taking notes. Yeah, but it was very interesting. You brought like a fresh vibe. And then I asked, I was like, who is that? And then she's called Lona. Oh, and she's a lesbian. I was like, let's go. You know? Let's go. So it was really, really refreshing. Yeah.
The time I first bumped into you was at the Galck Center. It was at the Galck Center. It was now much later. Much later when we were doing all the things. And I think you were working for Ishta. And I watched, you know me, I watch people and look for what strengths, what qualities, whether they've got spark, you know, that kind of thing. Pretty much head hunting is what I do on a regular. And then I saw you and I saw the way you were arranging things and the way you were, you know, like in order, form, you know, methodical. And I think I came and I asked you, are you working anywhere? And then I was like, would you be interested in this thing? And I think you said, yeah. And I was like, right, write a small. That's the first time.
Yeah.
Because I saw that. Babes, let me tell you how happy I am that I saw that.
Oh, I'm glad.
Look at
so
us
glad.
now. Look at us now.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad I met you. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, hey, but my God, the journey has been wild. Is the one word I can put. Like, I remember back when this started. By the way, do you remember the World Social Forum? Were you even in the scene at that time?
No, I was in high school, darling.
Are you aging me? Or is my fan aging me?
Your fan is aging you. But aging is a privilege, so that's a good thing, right?
Please look, listen.
Yeah, but I've heard about it, right? So as you know, I did my dissertation on the history of Galck Plus.
Yeah, tell us.
So I read about it. I went through the notes, sorry.
Yeah.
And I learned so much about why Galck Plus was formed, the idea behind it. So apparently during the World Social Forum, that was the first time they launched Galck, right? So there had been conversations behind the scene about this coalition. 5 groups at the time came together and they were like, we need a coalition, right? We need something like a national body to represent us at the national level at the time. They hadn't even dreamt of regional and international. Do you know what I mean? So they came together, formed this coalition and called it the Gay and Lesbian Coalition of Kenya. And they started tinkering with the idea of like, what would it look like? Where would there be a secretariat? How would it look like, right? And then as they were doing that, the World Social Forum came to Nairobi, right?
Yeah.
And they were like, this is our moment. We have to launch this thing. So the people who were representing galck at the time created this tent at the World Social Forum, right? And in that tent, they were talking about the coalition, who galck is, why it's important to have galck, what galck does, its members. So the members were also there. And apparently, that was the first time LGBTQ plus people or queer people in general were out in public in Kenya, right? That was the first time people were able to be like, I'm gay and I'm Kenyan and I'm here, right? And obviously the media ate it up.
You know, I was there.
You were?
I was there.
Tell me more about it.
Oh my God, the
Yeah.
tent was packed.
Yeah.
Always. The tent was packed. People could not believe what they were hearing.
Yeah.
It was called the Q spot.
Yes.
It was called the Q spot. Then after that, there was like a parade. To be honest, it was so long ago that memories are blurry, but it was exciting. It was so exciting to come across other people. You know, me, I was somewhat removed from the scene, also questioning whether or not I am who I am, you know, those kind of things. And so when you come together, it was incredible. The only trouble is it became unsafe. After that, people were so excited. I wish images had been taken of all the people who had filled the tent, because then people wouldn't have been singled out. You know, because after that, people were singled out, and some folks had to leave. Some folks were not happy. Yeah, tough times.
Yeah, while doing the research, I found a newspaper clipping. I forget the headline exactly, but it was something like gay people in Nairobi. And it's from back in the day. Of course, it's black and white, and you can't make out the faces themselves. But I was just like, oh my goodness, like what a moment. Yeah.
That was like the snowflake that then turned into a snowball and then into an avalanche. It was incredible. Yeah. So after that, now I think at that time there was very few organizations that were like member organizing, you know, like groupings. I don't think folks had done organizing per se, but groupings, and they gave themselves names, and then there were 6 of them at the time. If I dare try and remember those names, I will just embarrass myself.
Yeah. But like the most famous one was obviously Ishtar. Big and oldest.
Yeah.
There was Pema Kenya.
Pema Kenya.
But at the time it was called something different. The Brotherhood.
The Brotherhood.
The Brotherhood. The sound of Pema Kenya.
Yeah. There was something called Tomic. The other men in Kenya, which ended up just vanishing not long after that.
MWA, Minority Women in Action, was the lesbian representative in the group.
There was Galebitra.
There's a 5th one I can't remember.
I think it's Galebitra.
Yeah?
Yeah. Was there any other?
No, there were just those 5.
Yeah.
And then they became 6.
And then they became 6.
I think that's when T joined. Yeah, transgender, education and advocacy.
Yeah. And then in 2008, they identified, and I can remember folks looking for a place. Because what used to happen, and I wasn't with LVCT at that time, like in 2008, is when I joined LVCT, because the person who was working there, the person who was running the Men Who Have Sex with Men program, Angus, fabulous. He was the one marshalling people and that's why there was a very strong HIV leaning, because that's where they could meet. That's where they started talking about, let's come together, things like that. And because of the sheer numbers, it picked up. while take moi, for example, and stuff, were a bit removed. They would have incredible stuff because I used to attend moi things. In fact, my partner from them days helped moi do their first strategic plan.
Yeah. A few times removed.
Oh, hey, wait. No, I can't say that because it's a bit public. Like, oof, there's some things one can't say. Yeah, and then at some point there were a lot of changes in leadership, and like, was it 2008 or 9 when the membership blew up from 6 to about 14
Yes.
all over the country. Wow. So now, that for me, like, if I look back, in retrospect, that for me is where things began to become a bit unstable, because all those 14 weren't on the same page
At all.
at all. Everyone had their own ideas about what they wanted. Everyone was going in their own direction. And it became, then the secretariat became huge to try and manage. And they didn't have like lines of engagement. It was like, okay, we'll get the HIV money, we'll implement. But then there's organizations down on the ground that need to implement. And it became a tussle. It became a thing of how are we stepping on each other's toes? And is it because of money?
Yeah.
Hey, things got thick.
And that's when I knew of galck, right? So that was my introduction to galck during that time. So you can imagine already, like, I had an opinion of this thing and how it was managed and what it did, because it was majority negative, right? And being on the outside watching what they were doing, I was just like, is somebody in charge?
I know, right?
So very, very wary, very, very skeptical about what the coalition was. Yeah. So by the time I was meeting you, that is why there was a bit of like a hesitation in the beginning. I was just like, I don't know if this thing can change what it has represented all this time, right? Even working for a member organization, we were very critical of the coalition at the time. Just like,
Yeah.
what are they doing?
Crazy.
Yeah.
And it actually led into a cycle of change, because that was the first transition.
Yes.
People were unhappy. My God, the entire movement was unhappy with the way
Yeah.
things were moving. And so I can remember in 2010, there was a huge gathering. Was it at, it was at the Go Down.
Yeah.
It was at the Go Down. Huge gathering. People came from everywhere. Folks expressed what it is they wanted, what it is they felt was wrong. Then that information went back and folks tried to make it work. But how many leaders had come and gone in such a short space of time?
Yeah.
And the only person that was left was finance. So if you've got that, then finance becomes the boss, because finance knows everything. And they didn't have systems and structures.
They didn't have systems and structures that could hold a coalition.
Or that could hold them accountable. So even if you're spending the money doing the right thing, you haven't got receipts, you haven't got invoices, you haven't got paper trail, you have no idea, no maths, no accounting. And so things got really bad.
And they couldn't account for shitloads of money.
Right?
Right? And when you can't account for money, people already brand you something, right? They're like, where is it? Where are the receipts, right?
By the way, it was ugly.
Yeah.
It was ugly. There was an AGM where the documents were not straightforward. And that's That's where the crack now opened. The documents were not right. The report, something had been done to it. And then members were like, what is this? What? That's the beginning of the end of that iteration of the Gay and Lesbian Coalition of Kenya. Funders pulled out. The center was closed. Things got hectic. I don't know how deeply we want to go into that, but I think there's some things we need not mulika your
Exactly,
Yeah?
exactly. But something beautiful also happened, right? Because that's the time where members were like, even though something bad has happened, we don't want the coalition to not exist anymore, right? We can redream, reorganize, rethink this, and have like maybe a different version or whatever of the dream, right? They didn't let the dream die with those people, right? And quickly formed a task force, the galck Reloaded task force, of volunteers that were happy to come and clean shop. They were just like, tell us what to do and we'll do it, right? And that's how we became colleagues.
Yes. I don't think any of us had any idea what was in store. I had these grand ideas that it would take 6 months. 6 months to clean up. 12 years later, here we are. And this is now the second transition.
Yeah.
And it was hard.
Yeah.
It was hard. 2013 to 2019. That one you can remember, Vizuri. My God,
Yes.
it still gives me PTSD. It still gives me PTSD. So sometimes it's like hard to talk about.
Yeah.
The one clear thing that I remember is burnout
Yeah.
in 2017, 18, 19, that period.
Yeah.
So if you can remember without too much PTSD,
I got you, Lorna. The first 3 years was basically us building everything from scratch.
Oh, God,
Systems
yeah.
and structures.
They had taken
We
everything.
literally didn't even have like a simple thing like requisition form. There was no template because they'd taken everything.
We couldn't find any documents, nothing.
We didn't even have like, okay, we had a few laptops, right? But we didn't have that. Like we had to use our personal machines and things like from home and from school, do you know? But it was literally rebuilding from scratch. And what that has taught me, right? And I feel like that's the one thing I'm very proud of about that time. And also like as a millennial as well, I'm able to build things from scratch. Right? Like I don't walk into something that is already made, do you know? And that built character, Lorna. Like I remember learning how to do policy from scratch. Can you imagine? And we were learning how to organize events, right? We hadn't done, like, I didn't know how to organize events until I came to Galk Plus, right? And I was in the operations docket at the time, and we would organize events for like 150 queer people. Make sure they're safe, make sure they come, make sure there's food and drinks, they're happy, and they go back home safely, right? Like there's nothing you can tell me now, right? Like so there's things we learned from that era. It was difficult, babe. Like volunteering for 3 years is not something I would recommend. Like we did it, nobody else should do it. But there are things and skills that I personally got from that period that I wouldn't trade. And not to glamorize like suffering, but like it wasn't just suffering.
It wasn't just suffering, no.
Yeah. I built lifelong friends. Some of my best friends to date are from that era because we went to war together. Do you know,
Do you know when you fight wars with people, the bonds are unbreakable.
For life.
For life.
For life.
I think that was probably what drove us to just keep putting one foot in front of the other. My God, do you remember the times when Donna would bring stuff
Oh my
what?
God.
Toilet paper,
Soap.
dishwashing stuff, stuff to clean. Would bring from home.
Yeah.
We would bring things from, because there was no money, there was no nothing. It
Nothing.
was a dump site,
Yeah.
as in it was so terrible. And then we would all jump in my car.
Oh
Remember
no, you'd drive us in your car.
jump in my car and go places.
Yes, and you'd buy us food, literally.
Yeah.
Literally, mother.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
you would use your government money.
Yes, NASCOP
Babe, it's not
money.
like people are paid that much if you work for Gava. Like, like Gava is just like reasonable pay.
But NASCOP was different.
It was different?
And it was the technical support working, the technical support group, technical support unit, NASCOP TSU. And when I went in there, I told them,
Yeah.
because something was telling me, you know how the universe talks to you and whispers
Yeah.
to you and tells you, you best go for this, because it's like kuna shida on the way. You are going to need it. So yeah.
And you'd give us like at least communication money, a little bit of stipend here and there so that we were not suffering.
No, suffering was
But if you look at the pictures from that time, oof, bro, we were going through it.
we were looking rough. Oh my God. Do you know? Can you imagine?
Yeah.
The one thing, the funniest thing,
Yeah.
like that question we asked,
Yeah.
was when Donna told me she hated the jeans I used to. Do you remember those ratty, horrible jeans that used to have faded? What? Poverty, destitution was real.
But we were putting in work.
The work we were generating.
Listen.
Where?
Like, look at Galk Plus
Now.
now. Right? Like, fruit of that labor.
Eish.
And of course, majority of the secretariat then and volunteers then have moved on to do other things.
And they are thriving.
Some of them really thriving, brilliant human beings.
Mm-hmm.
But we laid the foundation for just an alternative form of organizing. Yeah.
By the way, our current consultant will get there.
Yeah.
We'll eventually get there
Yeah.
about now.
Yeah.
But our current consultant had said to me during my exit interview the other day, said that she has never come across an organization that operates the way we do. That we are the most unique outfit she has ever come, and because of it, even the design of things as simple as exit interviews, it had to be made from scratch to fit who we are. The way we are designing strategic has to be done from scratch to fit who we are. Babes, honestly.
We have to be proud.
Honestly.
We have to pat ourselves.
Ah.
Kidogo too, a little bit.
Kidogo, just.
Yeah. And I feel like even from what our members said during your farewell party, right? They learned a lot from you and from us during that time, right? That things can be done properly. And coming from the previous version we just spoke about of gay and lesbian, where things were just not.
You didn't know where the money went. You didn't know what people were doing. You
I'm
didn't
like,
know what
who
people
is
were
this?
thinking.
A program officer. And what is that also? Another one. And who is this one? Do you know, like, I'm throwing shade. I know they're going to come to me. But
It's history.
It is.
Are
It
you
is
going
the
to
truth.
erase
It is
history?
the
No,
truth,
it's the truth. That's why
right?
we are where we are.
Yeah. That learning that things can be done properly, being accountable, babe.
Integrity. Down to the last, my God.
Babe, if you take somebody's coins, you have to account for it. You can't turn around and be like, I don't know where it went. I must have spent it on bread.
No, bring a receipt for the bread. And if you have change after you've bought
Put
the bread,
it
you need to put it back into the account.
It is not my money.
It's not our money.
Yeah,
Hey,
exactly,
wow.
exactly,
Integrity.
100%. Yeah.
I think for me, that was the proudest thing. That was the proudest thing. The way all of us just were like, because of the forensic audit report. Oh my God, I still remember how each and every sentence in that document that was this thick was like body blows. You were there, were you?
For the previous girl,
Yeah.
they wouldn't let us in. They were like members only,
Oh, yeah.
directors only.
Yeah, we had to keep it. We had to keep it.
But we had rumors about it.
Yeah.
And I've seen it now that I'm
Now that you're, yeah. That thing was an indictment of some people playing children's games with adult things. That's the best description I can think of. People playing children's games with adult things. And now it's like after we vowed never to go back there. Those are the things that kept me coming. Those are the things, people just saying, we're not going back, we're not going back, we're not going back. Those are the things that kept me rooted for all these years. Hey.
And I feel like the biggest thing for me, the thing that aligned the most with your leadership style was the integrity bit, Lorna. Like, people can question anything about you, right? But never your integrity. And I admired that so much. I was like, listen, somebody that we see the world the same way when it comes to these things, Because looking at the movement at the time, there are people who, for example, I aligned with very politically, right? I'm like, yeah. Feminism, all of these things on point. But when it came to that, they missed the mark. There are people who were so radical at the time, right? Like in 2010, they were already speaking like the language you speak now, very open, very like they would fight politicians on in spaces, different spaces. And I was just like, I admire them so much. But when it came to accountability, when it came to integrity, I was just like, it's galck. It's galck, the new, obviously, iteration of galck at the time. That's where I feel the most comfortable doing this work, because it's not about me. It's about the community. And what's the best thing for the community, right? How do we achieve that? It's not by centering ourselves and our needs, right? You are so selfless, Lorna. You're just like, Twende, let's go fight those Nini government people. Let's like, you're always putting the community first. And I was like, that's the one.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. The only person I can credit for that is my mom and my dad. There was no playing games.
Yeah.
There was no playing games. Integrity. Oh, where? You could do many things. I could go out and party all weekend, but when it came down to accounting for things, that came first. So my mom, a simple example.
Yeah.
I would go out on the Raz Friday. Those days, Carnival used to be Monday to Sunday.
Yeah.
Go out on the Raz Monday to Saturday. My mom would be like, if you're not in church singing like an angel on Sunday at 8 o'clock in the morning and reading over there in the pulpit like an angel, you will see. So you are aligned.
Yeah.
And that just flows into everything. If it happened about that, it happened pretty much in everything that we were doing.
Yeah.
And so that's where that came from. Very firm around things like that.
Yeah.
Responsibilities, duty, do the thing you said you were going to do. Period.
100%.
Well,
100%. 100%. And I attribute that to my parents as well, especially my mom, right?
Yeah.
Responsibility. If you said you're going to do something, you better do it.
And do it well.
There's no excuses. There's no... We had an agreement.
Yes.
If you're going to your friend's birthday party, you come at 5.
Exactly.
And do the dishes. So
So we keep things moving.
She maintained her end of the thing.
That's why.
How come your end of the thing?
That's why we get on like a house on fire.
You have to be responsible.
Straight up.
You have
There's
to
no
be
playing
accountable.
games.
Yeah. And she was an easy, cool mom, quote unquote, but still
My
very
mom, I think
strict.
by the time I came along, my mom mellowed a lot because I came like 7 years after.
Yeah.
My sisters, the stories they have to tell are a whole nother ballgame. We won't go into that. But she too was firm but fair. Firm but fair. Yeah. So now we've brought these things to this.
Hence the second transition.
Second transition. folks out there don't realize that what's happening now is not the first. This is now the second. And I must say, it couldn't have come at a better time, because I've been doing this for 12 years. I got the thing that I said I would do, I have done. It was reactivating, restructuring, centering, rebuilding, pulling the thing out of the ashes together with all the volunteers and folks, and ensuring that it's stable, which I believe now when I look at it, it's like, yeah, there's nothing more that I feel I can add. And there's nothing more that who I am would add value. I'm old school. I'm old school, I'm rigid, I'm a particular way, I'm who I am. Maybe I've mellowed with age, you never know.
A little bit.
My fan.
A little bit.
Maybe I've mellowed with age. So for me, there was no more from the well that water was being drawn. And so it was a thing of, my time has come to an end. And it had been coming. I'd been saying this for a while. And then finally, it just came together as the universe would dictate. And so we had started having this conversation 2019 for real. And then 2020 happened, the year that wasn't. And then you wished to broaden your horizons. I'm so glad. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, and we tried for a bit. Do you remember? Because before COVID, we were thinking I was to go to school in 2020. The world, like we knew it, stopped, right? And we had to reconsider that. Tried in 2021, got into a school, it wasn't a good fit. Got into Colombia, I wasn't sure about the US. Like a lot of versions. And like you're saying, Lorna, the universe gives when it's the right time. I completely believe that. Like my ancestors wouldn't put me in a path or in a situation that wasn't meant for me. Do you know, that has never happened in my life, right? So I was trusting the process. And finally, I was able to go to a school that I loved, a program that's brilliant. Like, honestly, the gender department is the best thing about the LSE. And I wish they would sell it that way, because obviously they're the minority, they are the least funded, as you can expect, babe. It has the queerest people. Obviously, but it is the best thing about the LSC. I wouldn't trade it for anything. I met brilliant people. I made friends with some of my professors, like just amazing people all around. I made friends that are going to be my friends for the rest of my life, do you know, type of thing. So it just broadened my scope of thinking, the things I learned at LSE. You know, you get to a point, babe, no offense, but you think I'm smart enough. Do you know? I'm just like, I know everything. Bro, I didn't.
Yeah.
I remember writing my first essay and just being like, what the heck, right? So I learned so much from my master's program. But the other thing that it gave me a year to pause and be away. And sometimes you're able to see something more clearly when you're away from it. Because when you're in it, sometimes, Lorna, it's hard.
It's terribly hard.
It's hard to see. And I couldn't see when I was in it, right? Taking that year to step away and watch something, watch the movement. Watch the movement players. And actually, it took 2 years, to be fair, because there was a year, you remember, I was just like, Lorna, I'm not doing meetings. I'm not doing
Where?
community engagement. Leave me.
Yes, this is true.
It gave me a moment to watch people, watch how people moved, watch the things that were happening. And now that I'm back, I feel like I have a clearer view.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm actually very glad that it was a possibility. But then you see, for me, it's like if a thing needs to be done, it will be done. You know, like it's not I'm not going to quibble about things that are necessary.
Yeah.
And it was extremely necessary for you to do this in your life at this time. I couldn't now grab you and say, no, you must stay and take. I couldn't force you into a position. I mean, to be very honest with you, it was such a perfect fit.
Yeah.
So that when you were telling me, no, I don't know, I was like, "Ooh, Jesus, how? No, please. Go study, go look and see, and hopefully somewhere, a yes will trickle in."
Yeah.
And I'm so glad it did.
Yeah.
Because I could not imagine anyone else currently
Yeah.
being able, having the history, you know, like continuity,
Yeah.
having come through that whole madness.
Yeah.
Somebody who has now got a master, you know, like all the boxes, for me, all the boxes were being ticked. So even if someone said, how did this happen? I'm like, you deal with your problems. Just deal with your problems, fix yourself first. Allow me to deal with mine. And these are mine, and I have fixed it, period. This is the way I'm fixing it. If you have an issue, take it over there because I'm not listening.
Yeah.
And so it was a perfect fit.
Yeah.
And even watching this 1 year, okay, when you asked me for a whole year, Eve, how much time do you want me to give you for this transition? 1 year. I'm like, oh, Jesus. Do I have the patience for this?
You do.
Yeah, I did. And
You
it was,
pulled it. I could see sometimes, but babe,
hey,
you pulled through.
There were closer towards the end, like 9 months in, I was like,
make it stop.
I am not breathing. I
Yeah.
am not make this thing stop. Should I ever have said 12 or should I have said 9? But 12 is good.
Yeah.
12 is good because now, do you know what people don't realize?
Yeah.
Is that the amount of ego work that needs to be done, it's not easy. People are like, oh my God, you've done such a wonderful thing with this transition. Wait, let me tell you, ego. Back and forth. So it's just been a thing of take ego and put it outside and come back in, because handing over power, no wonder people don't want to do it. It's difficult.
Yeah.
But then because I was done,
Yeah.
I was encouraging. It's like, please.
Yeah.
But it's not easy.
It's not easy.
It's not
it can't
easy
be.
at all. Sitting in the
can't
same space that I used to give orders, and now I'm not giving orders anymore, and now you're giving orders in spaces where the room is in my command, and then stepping back and, hey, it's not easy. So let nobody be fooled. We're making it look great.
Yeah.
But it's a tough thing.
It is tough. It is tough, Lorna. And as much as I've also like grown, obviously, into the role, but like the thing that has made it easy for me to quickly step into it was you stepping back. Right? And I feel like that's the important part of a transition, that the person transitioning out is ready and willing to step back, because then that, I feel like that would be the hard bit, right? Because then we'd be having back and forth. I'm giving instructions, you're giving instructions.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah.
But that did not happen. And Lorna, in the 1 year, I've literally seen you change and transform. You're lighter. You're more playful. It's like the version of Lorna I met at the beginning before these people burnt you out. these people, including me. But like, do you know, light and funny and playful, and do you know, like, it's been beautiful to watch. And I hope that that year has also allowed you to transition into the new era of your life, because you're not coming in carrying everything. I feel like I have literally seen you put some of the baggage down. We dance on TikToks. I see you dancing on like Instagram. I'm like, look at Lona go. So yeah, it's been beautiful to watch. So that has also helped the transition, you being ready, right?
Yeah.
And me being ready.
You listen. Look, huh? Listen. You being ready was for me the do or die. Had you said, babes, I honestly cannot tell you what I would have done. I would have walked away. I would have thrown my toys out of the cot. I would have thrown keys at people and said, do this, do with it what you want. I don't know what I honestly don't. So I'm so glad that. And also you know, it takes innate leadership to request for things.
Yeah.
Because we don't know this. We were not born with the book in our head on how to do this.
Exactly.
And so when you turn around, you're like, Lorna, I need to be the one receiving emails. You know, that whole thing. I was like,
Yes.
oh my God, yeah, that makes total sense. Okay, ding, 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 ding. Send emails to people and say, no. Don't address me no more. And let me tell you, this is a little bit of a thing.
Yeah.
When people stopped addressing me, I felt like the weight of the universe had just lifted. It was like, oh my God, yes, please.
Yeah.
Thank you for asking. I don't know if you'll thank me in a few years. I don't know. But it lifted a massive weight, because I think you must have noticed how now it's like you can't breathe.
Yeah. It's constant. It's unrelenting. Listen, it's not just the secretariat who are like, can I drink a cup of water?
No, don't translate them like that, okay? They're not like that. Bless
They're
them.
not like that.
They're
Bless
so
them.
independent. Some of them, okay? Give them some flowers.
But it's also the community, right? It's partners, it's funders, it's delayed reports. It is
Everyone wants a piece of you.
Yeah.
And they're there. You can't be. By the way, don't
Somebody
let
being
urgent-
attacked.
Oh yeah, somebody being attacked.
Don't let you're saying something.
What I would say, and this is probably something that I should say at the end, but since it's here in my head, let me say it already. Be gentle with yourself around urgency culture.
Yeah.
Because that thing is vicious on wellness.
Yeah.
Urgency culture is harmful.
Yeah.
Especially the number of people that you're dealing with and navigating. And then it's not like you're 50 million people working at galck. You're 7, 8 people.
Yeah.
No. So go gently. Go gently on yourself with that one. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah? And surely, if anyone harasses you, I'm not far. You know where I live.
Yes, babe.
Yeah.
Yes,
I'm not far.
100%. And if I can't find you, I know who to get to find you.
Bus, and then if you want me to go looking for people, because they're... Yeah, I can also jump on that cavalry.
I feel like also the team transitioning, the members transitioning. And I feel like that is why we needed a whole year, because we are not just an organization, we're a coalition, right? So we were ready, but members weren't, right? Some of them received this as like the most shocking news, that after 12 years, Lorna was stepping back. I was just like, what's shocking about that?
I know,
Is
right?
it because you've been there for 15 years?
You didn't. Fantastic. Well done, you. Well done.
Like, it can't be done, babe. You can't walk away. Do
Yes,
you know?
you
So they were
can.
like,
And you can walk away well.
yes,
Nicely.
right? You don't have to be like picketed and be like, you must
Get
go.
out,
You
get out.
must go. No, it can be done well. It can be
Nicely.
like, and I feel like that's feminist leadership,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And we were to talk a little bit about queer leadership or leadership in queer spaces.
I will
feminist leadership. I
defer to you in that scheme of things, the feminist leadership. Allow me to defer to you.
So, talking about examples, right, of leadership coming in, all right, and after that version of Galk Plus went down, I feel like even regionally, LBQ women started rising into positions of leadership. I don't know if it was strategic or it was just by default, but one of the largest funding organizations in the region was being held by a lesbian. GALC was being led by a lesbian. All the lesbian organizations had started resurfacing who were members of GALC. So lesbians were walking into positions of power, right? And we were just like, nice change. But
Keep going.
just because a human being is different, it does not necessarily mean that the culture will be different or the ingrained things about, for example, women and men and gender roles and how we were raised. And, do you know, like those things don't just automatically change. You have to actively do the work of changing them. So you have to unlearn, right? And leaders are people, right? They're not like magical things that just happen. They're human beings, flawed human beings, right? As everybody is. And that is going to show even in leadership style, right? So there was a lot of learning to see. I learned a lot from you. I learned a lot from Wanja. I learned a lot from Mukami, right? I was just like, okay, picking like aspect of these things, right? I'm thinking, okay, this works, and adding them to my pot of leadership. But I feel like the thing that has saved the queer movement in Kenya is a lot of LBQ leaders embracing feminism and leaning in intentionally, right? Because most of us are not religious, I think. So there's like the thing that centers you. What is it? The thing that brings you back, right? And I could say feminism was the thing because I saw organizations transform when somebody was just like, listen, let's learn power over and power under, and that how that applies during a staff meeting. Can I yell at an intern and tell them to shut the fuck up across the room? Do you know? So like small things like that, and people intentionally leaning, and you could see it, and it transformed organizations, right? And I'm thinking, not to be a preacher, not to be like a converter Christian, but I would recommend feminism for any leader. You don't have to be LBQ, right? Read, learn from people who are here before us, right? Their mistakes, right? Audre Lorde, like when she was a lecturer, what are some of the mistakes she made? How can you avoid them? You don't have to go through something to learn, right? You can learn from watching other people. So I'm thinking, yeah, that's what has saved the queer movement, in my
Do you
opinion.
know? I must, and thanks so much for that, because for sure, if you're moving with what it is you know and only what you know, because conditioning is a thing. You only know what you've been conditioned to know, and it takes actual, deliberate something to move away from that was a comfort zone. So, that business of everyone being so distressed about LBQ running everything, I actually had, and it was so sweet, the GHPN, the Gay Men MSM, the HIV network,
Yeah.
actually did the sweetest thing, and they asked me to come and speak with them. And it was a case of, look, for how many years did I focus on this organizing? All the doors were open. You have access to pretty much whatever you want. You've run, you've started flying. So why would you object to me now doing that for people that are starting where you started from. It's somebody else's turn. You run with it. And it was, I think the business of being abandoned sits deep, and it wasn't abandonment.
Yeah.
It wasn't abandonment. It would never be abandonment. It was simply a thing of, you have done, you are doing fabulously, keep going. Just keep going. Don't look back. And then work with people who are coming. So I
Yeah.
think that's also a place where we started to find a little bit more peace. Peace. Because MSM, HIV dominated for the longest time. Then you're right, LBQ started to rise up, and LBQ have been disadvantaged for the longest. Oh my God, talking about poor resourcing.
Yeah.
Oh God,
Yeah.
hell. Poor resourcing. So now that they are rising, it's great. And then some of the folks from the GHP and HIV world are also realizing that the whole patriarchy and misogyny and stuff doesn't work favorably
For them
for
either,
them.
especially as minorities.
Doesn't work
like
at
as a
all.
gay man, patriarchy is against you, babe.
In fact, patriarchy is against men
Yeah.
and women, not only in the gay world, not only in the queer world, across everywhere. And I wish people would see it. I wish people would not be so ready to hold on to something that's so harmful. But we're not coming here to dismantle the patriarchy.
No,
Let
no.
us take it back to where we were. Yep. Let us
Yeah,
take
yeah,
it back
yeah,
to
yeah.
where we are.
So I'm thinking maybe the future. What does the future look
The
like?
future.
I feel like I'm coming into the movement, not into the movement, into leadership at a very interesting time in the world.
Yeah.
Right?
Let me tell you.
It's like the world, like you say, it has tipped over and fallen on its head.
Yeah.
Right? Everything, not just in Kenya, like globally, everything is burning, right? We have wars, we have genocide, we have funding gaps, we have America being America and just, oh my goodness, I don't
Moving
even know what to
mad.
say there. And then people copying what America is doing. And then we have here where we have terrible governance, terrible leadership
Ugh.
politically. We have economic disadvantage. Listen, the collapse of humanity as we know it. It is insane.
It makes no sense.
And me and another leader, I don't want to name drop him, but we came into leadership at the same time, and he's leading one of the largest LGBTQ plus organizations in the world. And me and him were announced at the same time, and we became friends because of it. Because he was just like, "What did we get ourselves into, Eve?"
Hell.
Because it's been one thing after another, and then Trump and the funding situation from America came. And of course, our community is the most disadvantaged, right? Like, of course, other African countries are also facing the same thing. But LGBTQ plus people are the most affected with these funding freezes and pulling of funding and all of this. So I'm walking into leadership at a very, very interesting time.
It's a watershed moment.
It is. But I'm also excited. So when people ask me, how are you feeling? I'm like, I'm excited. Like the nerves haven't checked in yet. Do you know? And I'm just like, this is very exciting because we have to burn this to the ground
Yes.
to get another version of this.
A better version.
A better version. Babe, the world as it was not working for many people.
Yeah.
Majority of the world was suffering.
Yeah.
Is suffering.
Still.
And we have to strip this thing to the completely
Yeah.
and reimagine it.
Reimagine it. And I'm so glad for the Gen Zs.
Yes.
Oh my God, if it wasn't for them just saying enough, I don't think we ever would. Gen X, oh my God, let me tell you, my generation,
Yeah. Status
to
quo.
be honest, I don't know how I ended up in that generation
Yeah.
because I can say this openly. the Gen Xers that I know, the people that were in my rendes and what have you, are such a solid disappointment. I don't know where I came from. Like, I'm my mother's daughter.
Yeah.
So, hey, but are such a solid disappointment that it embarrasses me to associate with Gen Xs from this country.
Yeah.
Not actually from the rest of the world, no.
Yeah.
From this country.
Yeah.
Nonsense. And they just sat by and let the thing fall by the wayside. We are here because, but then of course, there has to be many sides, right? They were born to boomers. The boomers came from what era? Gen Xers then were crossing, like feet in two places.
Yeah.
That time and this time.
Yeah.
And so I give grace. But
yeah.
when you're a grown up, after you've passed 21 years of age, how on earth are you behaving like a fool? And how on earth do you not have msimamo? And how on earth can you not say, I am not this person? This is not who I am. No, but my people have just, that's how I feel about them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then millennials and Gen Zs, let me tell you. The world is in their hands right now.
Right.
And it's going to be a better world, I hope.
Completely. And moving into the future, I'm hoping that millennials can ground the movement.
Please.
Right? And not just the queer movement, even the anti-establishment movement, the liberation of Kenya movement, the feminine, whatever movement it is, because it has to be grounded on something.
Yeah.
You can have all the passion and the fire, but it just can't be that without grounding, right? Like if you can connect the dots, famous words.
Connect
like
dots.
What is the correlation between bad governance and the oppression of LGBTQ plus people? Right? You cannot be calling for your liberation as a straight Gen Z and being like, oh, this government is oppressing us, while you're very happy to oppress a trans person, right? What you want is not liberation.
Yeah.
What you want is transfer of power.
Access.
Right? Like you want to be the one doing the...
Yeah. The oppressed become the oppressors, babe.
And that's not what we are trying to do, babe. The movements have to be grounded in theory, in history, in literature. Learn something. Read a book.
And don't let them take away the arts, because that's where the soul sits. These are the things. What are they called? STEM. That STEM thing.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't eat STEM.
We can't all.
You can't all be STEMers.
Please.
You know,
Somebody has to draw.
Somebody has to see beauty.
And I'm hoping that in my era, in my tenure, as my friends have been joking about, that we bring that into the queer community. They bring the beauty, bring the soul, bring the history, tie our needs with the larger, broader, not just Kenya, but region and globe, right? Make it make sense for a trans person in Nanyuki, why it's important for them to care about Palestinians fighting for their right to self-determination. How are those things connected, right? Like where is it? And if you're talking about like liberation, how is it that we should be concerned about what our government is doing? There's no like gay rights, bro. Nobody's coming to give us gay rights.
No. Human rights are human rights.
Yes. So when we liberate ourselves, we liberate each other and we liberate everyone. And I feel like that is going to be like my motto.
Yeah.
I can't liberate myself if you're still in chains, right? And how do we work together to ensure that we are doing that? And we are pushing boundaries and we are fearless. I'm so glad that the Gen Z is so fearless, right? They're not afraid. They're not beaten in school like we were. So
I know,
fear
right?
has not been like transmitted, do you know?
Is that it? You have been trying to figure out how come they're so fearless. As we were chapwad.
Mercilessly.
My God.
Oh my God. So if we can combine the two forces, right? We learn from our elders. And now Gen Z is lucky. They have queer elders. We didn't have that. When I was coming to the movement, there were no queer elders.
No.
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 So at least they have people to learn from. And if we combine those efforts, the world is not ready.
The world is not ready.
The government is not ready.
The world is not
They
ready
are
for a
not
combination of
ready
forces.
for
Oh my God.
us.
And the gorgeousness that will come out of there.
Yeah.
If only. If only.
Yeah. But we have to take care of ourselves and we have to take care of each other.
Yeah.
Because there's no revolution if we are all dead, right? If we are all burnt out, if we've all like decimated each other because we are all running for the same tiny pots of funds, if we are pulling each other down, if we are like, so bring back the beauty.
Bring back the beauty. Bring back the beauty.
Yeah.
You spoke of the business of arguing for Palestine. No. Do you know, I glimpsed, because I'm not a social media, I had to get away from that thing for my wellness.
Yeah.
Long time ago. There's folks out there terribly unhappy with the fact that some Kenyans were marching for Palestinians.
Yeah.
And then they were saying, oh, why weren't they marching for all the Kenyans who have died? Kwani, where were they when people were marching for the Kenyans?
And we're being tear
that
gassed
were-
and beaten by batons. We still have battle scars. Where were they?
Where were they when people were actually marching for the people who had been harmed? That they're coming to say, oh, you can march for Palestine, but you can't march for... You know, people...
So that, you see,
Drives me
oppression
crazy.
Olympics, right?
Yes.
Who is the most oppressed? No, babe.
Are we more oppressed than you?
Listen, focus on the oppressor. Why do we
Yes.
all have the same oppressors? And they're like 6, we can take them down. Do you hear me? So instead of
Exactly.
focusing on, oh my God. So that's the education that I'm happy and willing for Galck Plus to lead and do. The activation, the making people aware, being, we will be the anti-intellectualism, right? We're just like, baby, we have to know things. It is
have to read.
sexy to read.
It is sexy to
It is
know.
beautiful to
Oh
know
my
things. I
God.
promise you.
No.
Ooh, there's the other thing. Ati kizungu mingi.
Kizungu
That
tutaongea.
drives
Hata, babe, kama tutaongea kizungu, tutaongea Kiswahili. But the message is the same.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
at least somebody asiyetuletea ati kizungu mingi. It's a language. At least we speak it okay and we spell all right. Have you seen some stuff out there? Jeez, it's like, no.
We will have to edit that out.
Okay. Why? Folks need to be told, if you're going to speak a language, try. See, even I've tried.
And somebody on Twitter said, to support your point, babe,
Yeah.
somebody on Twitter said, we were colonized. We've been taught this language from since I was 4 years old.
Yeah.
I better know how to speak it and spell it.
Thank you.
Because if I've been doing this for 29, 30,
What is that saying about your brains that you can't spell and read and write?
what other language can I do it in?
You-
Zulu? I can barely.
This should not be edited out, I
Yeah.
swear. Folks need to know. Like, look, listen, how many times was I given grief about Kiswahili? How many
And you went
times?
and learned
And
Lona.
listen.
Squeeze unaongea Kiswahili, I'm shocked. Kwanza sheng.
Kiasi. Look,
Babe.
listen, okay, I won't brag. I'm still on my learning trip. But man, I can hold it. I can hold
a
my own
conversation.
kiasi.
Yeah. See?
See,
It wasn't
and
all
if I
bad.
can, it wasn't. If I can, then people can do that with English. Back to where we were with our transition, with you and this. The thing that that we were talking about was leadership at this time. The thing that you see going forward.
Yeah.
The reason why I said at the beginning, and I don't know if I said it on this or whether I said it when we were talking,
Yeah.
but it is the most perfect time, is because an era has actually ended.
Yeah.
And that's that era with me. It has ended with me. A new era. Not so cute, not so pretty, but a new era has begun. So what brought us here cannot take us into the future. Therefore, new ways, new things, and not dramatically and drastically, but a new approach, a different approach, different ways of moving is what the future needs. And that's why it is so perfect. I'm sorry it's a
Thank
bit shit
you.
right now, but
Yeah.
you know, it's not, it's finite.
Yeah.
By the way, it's finite.
That's the thing. Yeah.
This ugliness,
Yeah.
the entire world will not tolerate this ugliness for too
Forever.
long.
Yeah.
The only trouble that people need to worry about is cleaning
Yeah.
the messes that are being made now, because a big cleanup will be required.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
huge cleanup will be required.
Yeah.
But it's finite. It will end.
Yeah.
Hold the line. Hang in there. Hang in there. It will change. That I know for a fact. You've got ancestors, me, I've got ancestors, deities, you name it, all the spirit guides and things. For a fact. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure. And that's why I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm actually excited to see the new era.
I'm so excited
Yeah.
for you. And I've seen the team, the new folks.
you
I am
seen?
so
you
super
seen?
excited. The energy.
Listen. Exactly.
Oh,
Exactly.
fantastic.
Exactly. Like perfect humans, selected carefully and crafted to make sure that they've gotten to the end of this. And Lorna, thank you so much, because we made a promise at the beginning of this transition that we will clean house.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And we have done that. I
Yes.
was like, Lorna, take the enemies, take them. And you have. You pulled them one by one. And I am happy.
Thank you.
I am happy with how things are. I am happy with the secretariat. Membership, I'm happy. Everything is where it's supposed to be for me to do this properly. So no anxiety at all.
Wonderful. And the last that we had that interaction with the membership where we went,
Yes.
that was an exceptionally good idea, where the entire team would go to the different. Honestly, that's where I saw with my eyes how membership has shifted.
Yeah.
And it is ready.
Yeah.
It is ready for this period. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We're going to have a good time.
Gonna have a good time. Where I come from, remember I said I'm old school, traditional, what have you. Where I come from, integrity, transparency, accountability, efficiency, effectiveness, those things were things that were, you know, mashed into me in my mother's house. Those things. And so I carry those things, but it might not be everyone who carries those things. So if there are leaders, or if there are emerging leaders and representatives, perhaps that thing of them going to read, going to learn, passing through hands, being mentored on how to do a thing right. Because you can start with zero. Remember how we started with zero? You can start with zero and you end up being in a space where you have millions. If you do it right, if you focus on the long game, not here. It has to be farther. And remember that thing of plan, strategize as though a tsunami will come and wipe you out. What are you leaving? If somebody comes after you, what will they find? Will they have to start from scratch? So plan as though a tsunami will come and wipe you out. And the other thing is, don't see here. There, that distance, that strategic, the strategic framework,
Yeah.
it was actually 20 plus years. It was designed to carry us for 20 years, and then we break it down. And the vision has still held. 10 years, 12 years later, the vision has held. And so look to the distance. Don't plan for yourself. Plan for the people who are coming after you. And make sure that what you built is solid and beautiful, not ugly like the buildings that are being put up in Nairobi now. No, please. Build beautiful things, design beautiful things, and design them beautifully from scratch. You cannot go back and correct. Take your time, think it through, spend the hours. 85% is preparation. 15, is it 15? What's my math? 15% is the doing. Prepare beautifully. And then for our community members, you now have seen your worth. You now know your worth. Do you feel that within you? Because you can see it and you can think it and you can start being entitled, but do you feel worthy to yourself? If you do, move in a way that expands that worth across others, so that by the time you're leaving the space, you can leave the space like I have. Happy, satisfied, comfortable, proud of the things that are coming. Think on it. For me, it's a wrap.
Oh, babe, that was beautiful. It was nice talking to you.
That was lovely talking to you. I'm so glad we did this. Lovely. Thank you.